Hi, welcome back to another video. Today we are bringing a booktube video because oh my god, is it trending and it is consuming my life, and I'm not mad about it. I'm literally obsessed with books. I have been my whole life. Like, I love reading, and on my channel way back I have some like book recommendation videos. So I love that now it's a thing. It is trending. So I am jumping back into that. I'm gonna throw some book videos on my channel because I love reading, and May was a good reading month. So this video is my May reads and my monthly wrap up. For my 6 books in May, I saw some other booktubers doing this. I just thought it was a bit of fun. So 6 books in May, and that is 2,134 pages in total. So that sounds like a lot of pages I've read. So I hope that I can maybe beat that next month. But I see some people with some hefty stacks each month. They like read 18 books this month, and I'm like, wow. Like, I don't know how you do that, but like maybe one day I will get there. But for today, it was 6 books this month, and I'm happy with that as well. I hope you guys don't feel too intimidated when you see people reading like such big amounts of books each month. Like, honestly, even just reading 1 or 2 books a month is also amazing, so don't forget that. So literally, let's just jump right into it. One of my best reading months. Like, all my books just kept me so excited to just want to keep reading. And reading for me is just the best kind of escape. So it also helped me get my screen time down a lot, which was a goal of mine. So if that's a goal of yours, literally start reading, because it is the best way to get off your phone. I had no flops this month. There was some 5 stars. The first book I read was none other than a HIII, of course, one of my favorite authors, which I think BookTok, BookTube, one of everyone's favorite authors. HIII, she writes the best books. Reminders of Him was a big fat 5-star. Like, it holds a special place in my heart. Not recommend this enough. Kenna is in prison for a really long, not a really long time actually, I think it's 5 years she was in prison for. And when she gets out and returns to her hometown, she's not really welcomed back, but she also has a daughter that she really wants to be back in her life. So that's kind of what the journey is about, and along that journey she connects with someone who is actually connected to her daughter, and it's pretty much a whirlwind of emotions from there on. I cried. It was honestly just got me in the feels, and I don't know what it is about it, but I was so attached to the characters. I wanted them to be together. Like, that's pretty much the story of, do you want them to be together? Do you not? Do you want her to see her daughter? It's really tricky, but it's a big fat 5 stars. Next up is Emily Henry's new book, which is so highly talked about. Like, Emily Henry, beach reads, that's all I hear about. I haven't actually read beach read. I actually get quite confused with Australia, and like, I know Australia and UK I think have very similar book publishing, but it seems to be different in the US, because I have one of Emily Henry's other books that I read. It is You and Me on Vacation, and I'm like wondering, is that the same one as People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry? Does anyone know? Like, I think it is, but I honestly don't know, because everyone hyped it up so much, and I don't actually remember loving that book extremely much. But anyway, everyone, I'm a bit confused, because the new Book Lovers also has like a different cover that I see absolutely everywhere, but this must be like the Australian version. It is super cute. Like, I love the cover. But speaking of the cover, this book for me was not a hit. It was alright, but it just wasn't a hit. Like, I've been seeing hit and misses. Like, some people are loving it and really hyping it up, which I think is the issue for me, because it was so hyped up. Emily Henry is so hyped up, and then the fact that it said Book Lovers, this just put me off. I mean, it didn't put me off. That's what I wanted it to be about, but the book itself didn't really feel like it was about books. But I'm sure you've heard all about it, but basically it's like 2 editors. They don't really get along at first, and then years later, when Nora goes on a bucket list summer trip with her sister, she bumps into Charlie again, who was that other editor. I think he was a publisher or editor for books. So they have that in common about books. And then yeah, it's all about the summer bucket list with the sister. I think that was the main thing I did love about this book, was the connection with the sister. And I think if you had a sister and were reading this book, like it would hit even harder, like it would be really nice. But for me, it was just probably like a 3.5. I liked it, but it just didn't stand out. I feel really bad for shitting on it because it is so hyped up. But anyway, the next one is The Silent Patient by Alex. I actually do not know how to pronounce that last name, so I'm not even gonna try. But Ava Jules, I love her channel. She actually like recommended this so many times. I was like, okay, I have to try. I feel like throwing in like a murder mystery or a bit of a darker adult book really helps break up the YA books or my romance or enemies to lovers. Like I love all those books, which is a very common theme in the books I read. But when you break it up, it keeps you on a roll and then you don't get in a slump. So I really like that, of just throwing in a murder mystery every now and then. This one definitely is more of an adult book. Like if you've read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which is more of like, I feel like that's more of a YA. Maybe it's even not, but it's definitely more like younger than this one. Like this one was very deep, but basically I rated it a 4-star because it took me too long to get into. That was the only downer, but I don't know whether that was just me and I wasn't, you know, really in it and concentrating. But the last third of the book, I just couldn't put it down. I had to know what happened. And it was like plot twist after plot twist. So it really kept me on my edge of my seat. And I was like, oh, okay, now it's a 4-star because it like got me at the end. I'm still not actually sure. Like this is one of those books that you're a bit annoyed at the end because you're like, wait, I don't know. Anyway, highly recommend. I highly recommend all these books this month. But next up we have another Go-Ho, not even surprised, Verity. And this was talked so highly everywhere that I was like, okay, I have to read this next. And this one for me is a 4.5. It is really, really good. Kind of like Reminders of Him, but I don't know, Reminders of Him was just extra special to me. I just loved that book. Lowen, she is a like struggling writer. She's really worried about her career, and then she gets like this opportunity, like the best job opportunity ever, and she takes it. And it is about like going through this autobiography and writing it of this other writer who is now, I don't know if she's in a coma, but she's in a condition like she's not talking. She has a husband, so she's he like is in the same house as the girl who like had to go through the autobiography and continue it on is like living in their house with them. So there becomes quite a few connections, and then it's just plot twist after plot twist. Verity is the girl who can't talk, and yeah, it's just plot twist after plot twist. I don't even want to say anymore, but like just read it and you'll be in for a really good ride. Okay, next one is Beth O'Leary, her road trip book. I'm obsessed. I love Beth O'Leary. I feel like she needs to be hyped up a bit more because honestly, I read her book Flatshare probably a year ago now, and I loved it. Like it's just, all her books seem to be such a like light-hearted, just like easy to read, and you just feel good when you're reading them. And that exactly is what happened with this one as well. Road trip, basically it is, they're on a way to a wedding and someone crashes into their car. This is no spoilers, by the way. And it so happens to be that who crashed into their car, these two girls, was her ex-boyfriend and his best friend. So they end up compiling into one car because they were all heading to the same wedding, which they didn't know. So it becomes a whole road trip, and then at the end it's also the wedding that they were going to. But the fact that this is nearly 500 pages, it's like 460. Yeah, it's 460 pages. 500 pages of just being in a car, like on a road trip, and I was entertained the entire time. Like that is saying something. That is really good writing. Honestly, a big must read. I think I need to get more of Beth O'Leary's books. I think the Flatshare I would put above this one and then this one, but honestly I would rate them both like Flatshare 4.5, road trip probably a 4.25. Like they're both really, really good. Lucky last of the month, I finished off with an absolute 5-star. I am so obsessed with this book. You all know Taylor Jenkins Reid, Malibu Rising, Daisy Jones and the Six, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. They're all a hit on BookTube, BookTok, everywhere. So if you're obsessed with them, you need to go back to her older books. I picked up this one. There is one other one. I can't remember the name, but I'm definitely gonna get it up. But this one is Maybe in Another Life. And oh my God, I would recommend this to anyone. Even if you're not really into reading, if someone asked me for a book recommendation, this would be it, because it is a 5-star for me. And it's one of those books that it makes you think about life. It is, you like can take things from this book and implement them in such a positive way in your own life. And that is why I fell in love with this book. Basically, Hannah is like, she has no idea what she wants to do. She's at the age of 29, so she's just like really struggling with that. But think what happens one night if she was to either get in the car with her best friend or get in the car with her ex-boyfriend. And one simple step in your life basically would unfold everything different. This book takes you on a whirlwind ride of both lives. Like if she was to do this one or if she was to take that step, and then you live through both of those lives. And there's 2 different kind of lovers in each side of those stories. So it makes you think like, who do I want her to end up with? And then slowly towards the end, they also kind of intertwine, and chef's kiss to the ending of the book. Like it is just beautiful. I still don't even know what I would prefer out of each of these lives, but oh my God, it is so good. I can't stop talking about this book. 5 stars. 5 stars. I love it. Okay, that is my May reads. Oh my gosh, obsessed. Absolutely loved them. And I hope that you have some recommendations. Please, I hope you have come across this video maybe from BookTube. Tell me if you are, because I want to put out more book videos, because it's something I'm super passionate about. I'm loving, it's a hobby. So even if you're here for more just the fitness content, I'm sorry, maybe just don't watch my book videos, but I'm definitely going to be doing both, because why not? That is May Reads. That is it. Bye for now, and I will